What is happening, y'all? I know you all been waiting for this one for days. Well, actually, 5 days ago now. And so, YT, I didn't forget you. I keep forgetting about your new upload, so I'm sorry for that. But this is ain't no theory this time, but this is a little bit different. So this says, Overanalyzing SMG4 the Waluigi arc. And keep in mind that was the first arc when this appeal was. So the my minds is you know it's okay he do some different stuffs like that. I used to enjoy some of his theories, so that's okay. He can do some different things. I won't mind. So that's it's his job. That's what he could do. It's his job. Got that? It's his job. You get it? It's his job. So let's see how this will go. Before we get into it, subscribe to Silver YT, link in the description box below. And I know this has already hit 141 likes since for 5 days. But we are going to check this out and let's see how this will go. It may not be a theory because this arc was old, but let's see what he's going to say.
SMG4 over the years has pumped out a variety of different story arcs. Each one has a unique feeling that can easily be differentiated from the last. They all feel special in their own ways, but there's only one that can reach a certain feeling that likely can never be reached again. The first arc on SMG4,
some of them could be hard,
arc, is an arc that reaches a point of style that no other arc in the series has ever reached. So today, let's look back on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy the video. This was the first ever arc on SMG4, and it all started by complete accident. Waluigi, a Mario character that has been rejected from being included in a bunch of Nintendo games, most famously in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, was revealed as an assist trophy for Smash once again. Many fans were
that's
devastated.
really true. Ever since why Waluigi has never been Smash for
Mario
this,
character, and many fans
that's why he's never been Smash. Wario did,
Smash,
which was his brother, but not Waluigi. It's kind of sucks.
Stupid Mario Tennis Aces as more of an
what happens could happen whenever it was from the future. Like, what if that was from the future? That could be something good for that.
Which is a video based on the meme of Waluigi not getting into Smash. Waluigi and Wario aren't typically used very often in SMG4 videos. They aren't main characters. They're more of a one-off kind of deal. Waluigi's time was another one-off episode,
they're not in every episode, they're in some episodes like they did this year.
It was meant to be a one-time thing.
Hopefully we see Waluigi with another episode
virus, the next episode that came out after that was the first episode that connected episodes together that wasn't based on a two-parter series. You see, the writers in this episode seem to have written themselves into a corner. They didn't necessarily know how to end the episode and wrap everything up, and so they just decided to make Waluigi be the one behind the main plot of the T-Pose virus. And they decided to play with it and see what they could come up with in terms of a connected story. It was just a big experiment, really, to see where exactly the series could end up going with a more overarching story while still maintaining an episodic feeling. We as the fans didn't know exactly what was going to happen with SMG4 after this point, and quite frankly, I don't think the people
when they did that
T-Pose thing, really had that much of an idea either. The arc had a bunch of experiments to it, which makes it stand out among the rest. The majority of the arc episodes, though, were still episodic. They all had their own plot going for them. But unlike previous episodic episodes, it had an overarching plot that connected them all together, with Waluigi lurking in the background. Most of Waluigi's appearances in the arc were just Easter eggs, though. There wasn't that much of a feeling of progression to them until the last few episodes of the arc, which definitely made the arc's progression much more hype and granted a strong form of anticipation for the arc to continue. It's a feeling that no other arc has really achieved. The closest we ever got to this would either be the Rapper Bob arc or the YouTube arc, and both of those arcs still didn't capture that same feeling this arc did with its pacing. I think the main difference is that arc episodes in the Waluigi arc were more Easter eggs throughout each arc episode, while the Rapper Bob arc and the YouTube arc still had episodic episodes, but each episode progressed the arc as well, which made it feel more like a hybrid between the anime arc model of a deep interconnected story and the Waluigi arc model of completely episodic-based episodes.
That got me scared the first time review I remember.
I expressed similar thoughts to this in my Genesis arc review, where I stated that I didn't like episodes that just had Easter eggs of the arc inside of an episodic-based episode inside of the arc. But I like how the Waluigi arc does it. There's one key difference between these two arcs with Easter eggs inside of an episodic-based episode. In the Genesis arc, we knew exactly what the characters needed to be doing, but they just weren't doing it. In the Waluigi arc, we didn't know what the heck the characters should be doing. This is the first
that's kind of true. I didn't expect to see that from the Ultimate Gamer one when that was a different background from Waluigi. Who did not notice that?
Model are predictable because we've seen it all happen before in previous arcs. No matter what though, the Waluigi arc never granted anticipation of what Waluigi's plan was or what he was up to. It was more of anticipation as to what the future would be like for the rest of the series. That was until Mario Saw. Oh my god, do you remember when this was considered the darkest video SMG4 ever made? Mario Saw was a game changer for the series,
but at
and it
least
looks like at
Luigi's
this
still
point the
alive.
writers knew exactly
but
how
as
they
a
wanted the
matter
arc to
of
function.
thought,
These were the first rounds of real character development here for SMG4 characters. The furthest so far we've had with character development for SMG4 at the time was with Psycho and Luigi, and even at that it wasn't as strong as this.
Yeah,
But keep in mind when I say character development for Mario Saw, I mean the bare minimum. The character development showcased in this episode doesn't really matter to today's standards. It was more of a showcase to Mario's love for Luigi and Waluigi's obsession with rejection. We didn't get deep character arcs like SMG3 or Meggy here. The best part though about this arc was just the refusal of acknowledgement from the creators of the show. They kinda just dropped the Waluigi Easter eggs throughout these videos with no prior announcement to them or stating, hey, this is what we're doing, until near the end of the arc. There was even an SMG4 Direct made around this time, and they just refused to talk about what the heck was happening with Waluigi. It just made that anticipation infinitely higher than it would be if the creators gave us an explanation as to what was happening. The SMG4 Direct overall was huge though. It gave us the new permanent company name for Glitch Productions, and the announcement of Waluigi 2018. Although, Waluigi 2018's announcement was very peculiar. In a good way, of course. I think they executed the Waluigi 2018 announcement perfectly in this arc. It's an announcement that nobody was expecting because nobody expected what the Waluigi arc even was. Initially, Waluigi 2018 was announced as a standalone Waluigi like all the others. There was no mention of Waluigi in sight, and they even had an original Waluigi 2018 logo made for this announcement. Although, when the official announcement came later after the SMG4 Direct, Waluigi was revealed and the real logo was revealed as well. That felt honestly shocking. That was probably one of the best announcements that SMG4 has ever really done. A lot of the announcements today just don't have the same amount of charm to them. It's impossible for them to do another announcement like this again because it's just completely expected. But this one, it's just, oh, it's so good. One of my favorite episodes in this arc was the Mario convention. In this arc, they were following a model of one episode
this year is going to be all over again because of Gonzo. I always could feel that in my mind.
The thing is, before the Mario convention episode came out, we already got an episode that progressed the arc, so the Mario convention felt like it was supposed to be non-arc related. But then Waluigi appeared, and the tone of the episode completely shifted. Yet another thing that no other arc can easily achieve. Wow. Now, even though there are some high stakes here, the stakes weren't as high as they are now if something dark were to happen, and that's the fact of there being the absence of the permadeath feature in this arc. Another thing that made this arc great was that the stakes felt high, but not too high at the same time, because we didn't have to fear for our characters' lives. When the anime arc introduced it, it gave a reason for many people to be afraid of arcs, because they didn't like characters being unalived. But
and here comes that moment of it too, especially for the generous arc, you know.
So when Waluigi was revealed, it felt like a shocking and dangerous moment, but not out of fear of a character's life, but more hype as to where the series was going, because we didn't know what was going to happen. Wow, another thing another arc can now never achieve. The last few episodes of this arc were all interconnected, and even at that, it felt more like two episodes
a tiny bit connected, but not really much,
you know. Introduce the background of Waluigi 2018. A weird decision, though, was to include Fishy Boopkin's Plays VR chat. Even though that was planned and was kinda cute, not as many people were going to end up watching that episode because it wasn't an actual SMG4 episode. So people who were looking back on the arc after its release were more than likely a little bit confused when Boopkins just ended up as a T-pose zombie. But hey,
so that's why he was not much around ever since he had to go back home and just play VR chat, and there you go for that.
Ever produced. It felt so satisfying and a new unique way to put Waluigi in a more unique light that we have never seen before. Yeah, Waluigis were always hype and fun to watch, but this Waluigi felt even more hype and fun to watch because of the stakes. I argued before in my Genesis arc review that ending it in Waluigi was a bad decision because of it interrupting the deep and dark interconnected story with fun challenges.
I think that's
but the Waluigi
why.
arc did it so much better because it wasn't a deep and dark interconnected story. Yeah, there were some dark moments, but it was still lighthearted.
Yeah.
And even when I say dark moments in this arc, it's not as dark as it would be by today's standards. That's why Wafi
you know
worked
how
here.
I am
It fit the
with
theme of the arc being based on a meme and how the series has
If you've ever been watching my reactions
the
to
arc
it,
overall had reached tons of goals that the writers were trying to achieve at the time, but it definitely still has its flaws, such as how the arc is based on Waluigi having the power of making people T-pose zombies, while in the first episode he doesn't demonstrate this power at all and showcases his power to make people sad. Yeah, by today's standards, not very good, but this is the first arc ever written, and these episodes were never meant to connect, so it makes sense why this whole exists. And I mean, hey, making people zombies is way cooler than making people sad. This is the first and only arc that has ever been based on a meme, and several memes,
he been trying his best, you know.
Not getting in the smash, T-posing, this just screams 2018. Yeah, the anime arc is technically a meme just because, you know, just anime in general, but anime is more of a genre, though, not just a meme. The Genesis arc introduced the concept of meme guardians and meme manipulation, and the YouTube arc introduced the internet graveyard, which is filled with dead memes, but the arcs themselves aren't based on just a meme or a group of memes as the plot. Don't get me wrong, though, that doesn't make those arcs bad, it just makes the Waluigi arc stand out more. Sometimes, though, I sit back and wonder to myself, if Waluigi did get into Smash. If Waluigi got into Smash, would the Waluigi arc ever have even existed? If that were the case, what would SMG4 look like now? I mean, we knew Meta Runner was a thing long before the Waluigi arc officially announced it because they kept teasing
years ago, man. Years ago.
And the creators obviously had something planned with Destiny and Psycho, but how would the series have looked if they never had the plan for arcs? Would it have been inevitable that the series introduced story arcs? Stay tuned for my next SMG4 theory as we discuss exactly that, and check out my SMG4 avatar theory.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I have to agree what he has to say for this, but there was some worrying about some things about this, as you may know, if some of your mom may know. But the YouTube arc, I mean, the Guardians one and the Revelation. Well, the good thing is the Revelation doesn't have no Wafi, so that's good. But for back from the Generals and the YouTube arc, I think this is gonna be going too much, isn't it? Because here's what I'm gonna say. I mean, I think what Luke is trying to do, I think he's trying to do something different now on his mind. I'm just saying, because he's probably doing something different in his mind now, to be honest. I have to understand with SMG4 and his game for this, but I have to give him credit. Look, I have to give them credit for all of this. You know, all of us with Wafi's, with different characters, yeah, I think something is going to be changed forever. After what happened from the last Wafi, I think what's going to happen next is going to be like Gonzo, you know, that we saw for the past few weeks ago. I think we're going to get another Wafi with a new walk, isn't it? Because if it is, I think it's going to change Wafi's forever, to be honest. I mean, I could be right, but if this ever happened later on in the year, I should be right for all of that. And I could be right. You all know I could be right for all those kind of questions. I'm just saying, it's going to be a little harder if they ever do more of those. That doesn't mean I don't hate the Wafis. It's just kind of a bit hard for the years going by, you know. And for the Wafi 2021, one of the most freaking arc I ever saw. And I want to talk more about this if they ever announce the 2022 one. So, yeah. Well, guys, tell me what is your thoughts about this. If you really enjoyed the Waluigi arc, like me, well, for me, yeah, it really was good. It was kind of a little bit hard for dark moments and Psycho's screaming face home. Still can't forget that from the past 3 or 4 years now. And speaking of that, if ever T-Pose comes back in the future, boy, we'll be screwed. But it's still the future. It's 2022. How bad could it be? What next? Make a different new, make a new Waluigi 2022 arc with a freaking, here's a good reason. What's going to happen next? Make a Waluigi 2022 with a new arc with Gonzo? Seriously, how bad it could be? I think it's going to be really bad, isn't it? I probably have to agree. Sure. Yeah. I have to agree with you all, but every wall face could be changed forever, to be honest. Pretty don't know, but you guys, I know how you all SMG4 fans are for this, but I have like different minds, opinions like that. So that's what I'm gonna say. Cause you probably have to get that because sometimes it's change. It gets changed, and you probably have to get the point why. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense, but it is probably what it is. So that's what I'm gonna say. Well, guys, where's your thoughts? Leave your comments down below. And as always, have a good rest of your night. If I won't see you all tomorrow on Friday, I will see you all back on Saturday. Hopefully, who knows? But I'll be back on Saturday for new SMG4s, baby. New SMG4s. I catch you all later. Seriously, I'm still thinking about that if they ever happen with a new arc. Seriously, I just want to let you all know for that.